Hi, Jeannie Wright here. I just did a video talking about why posture and breathing are so important, and I talked about tight pectorals, tight upper trapezius muscles, and tight teres minor and major for those anatomy nerds. But for those non-anatomy nerds, you saw that where I was pointing. So upper traps, pectorals, and teres major. So all of that gets really tight when we pull that shoulder forward and our head is forward. But when we get into good posture, and if we do everything from this, we can start to tone those places down. But sometimes they're just so locked and so tight. And so this video is about showing you a very simple way to start to do release work on your own. With any release work like this, you are responsible for yourself. So I take no responsibility for you. So you listen to your body and only do what feels good to you. But I will say that there is a pleasure pain in self-release. So I have 3 balls here. This is just like a kid bouncy ball. And this is a harder lacrosse ball. And this is a tennis ball. So any of these will work. I like it hard. So I'm using the lacrosse ball. So I'm going to take the ball here, I'm going to take the ball here, and I'm going to take the ball in here. And of course, I love getting the line of the scapula because that releases the scapula, and then the scapula can move more readily. So I'm going to start with following the line of the scapula. I never put a ball right on my spine. So I'm in between the spine and the scapula, but I'm going to follow the edge of my scapula. And a lot of you are probably really tight in here. So releasing this is going to help you release that upper trap, and then lift up. Make sure that the chin's slightly tucked, not all the way tucked, but you're really lengthening the back of that neck because that upper trap is connected to the neck. And that's going to take some tension out of the neck. And you're gonna breathe. And like I always tell people, breathe laterally. So you're gonna breathe out through here and relax, breathe out through here. Just notice if all your breath is going to your belly. So if it is, think about breathing back into tight spaces, back through here and into the back and down into the pelvic floor. And yeah, so I'm really tight, especially if like all of us have like moved online to do our work. For me, I'm using the computer more than I used to, which means I'm getting tighter up in here. So that feels really good. So take your time on that. You can pause this video, spend a little bit more time, and then I'm not going to do the other side. I'm going to let you pause this video and do both sides till you feel satisfied. Okay. So that's going to help. And when you're doing that, when you go up to the upper trap, you can kind of lean back a little bit, but once again, just notice your posture. If you're like this, it's not going to do you much good. Okay, so you can get the upper trap and that kind of middle trap back through that shoulder. Now I'm going to get in here, and so this tends to be really tight on people that have any forward head because it's getting overused. So now I'm basically getting my lower armpit. I'm going to show you the spot that I feel it most. It's right there. So right at the line where this comes up. Yeah. And it's painful on me because I've had a lifelong habit. So the longer you've been doing certain things, the harder they're going to be able to fix. And obviously my body comes right back to where the posture is because I've worked on it, but I'm not perfect. So this is something that still feels really necessary to me and really good. So this is a tool that you can use at any time just to kind of relieve all that neck tension. You don't have to always go to somebody else. So you can pause this, do the other side, and then we're going to do the pectoral. So if you're nursing, you're probably more tender here. So I'm like right underneath the clavicle and right inside of the shoulder, just very much on the edge. And I'm going to place this here and then lean into the wall. kind of at this nice angle. So here's the wall. I'm not facing it straight. I'm turning at an angle and then putting a little pressure and moving around in this area. And I'm just gonna let this arm hang, and I'm gonna come up on my tippy toe and then come back down, come up on my tippy toe, and come back down. And while you're doing it, breathing, please pause the video so that you can take time with your breath and drop into that breath. When you're done, you can do this little stretch, and this is something you can just pause and do throughout the day. You're going to interlace your fingers, place your hands behind your back, lift your shoulders up, and then drop them. Pull your ribs back a little bit. And whenever you pull the ribs back, make sure to lift up through here so that you don't bear down. Okay. So your fingers are interlaced back here, and then you're lifting up and out. So do not push your head forward. Fully lengthen out. And now, shoulders down, you stretch your elbows back, and then you can come to a wall, and then you'll just kind of see how tight you are in there by trying to bring your ribs back to the wall. And once again, anytime you pull your ribs back, make sure you're not bearing down, so lift up a little bit through that lower pelvic floor. Okay, so you might feel this in other places too, but I just wanted to show you that because it's something you can do anytime. So that's going to get more of the pec minor, I believe, and then this one's going to do the other pec a little bit more. And now, if you have a long roller where you can sit on the end and lay your whole body on it, so your spine is on a roller, this is my favorite place to do this. Do this exercise, your knees are bent, and you're laying on a roller, and you get that long neck, and then you do this and let the arms come out. You're going to get deeper into those pectorals if you're laying on a roller, because you're going to have gravity pulling those arms back. And then, so you do that with the hands behind the head, and then you just lay your arms straight out, keeping that neck really long, and keep relaxing the ribs back. And you're going to get that upper back to stretch out. So that's one of my favorite routines for pre-workout in the upper body. And for all those nursing moms, I hope you love that. And you should, because you're probably just dying for some of that release work. Please ask any questions. If something didn't feel right, don't do it.